Winter weather causes crashes across mid-Missouri.
The state tour promoting, quote, the boldest state tax reform in America is a no-go.
Plus, mid-Missourians celebrate the life and legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. KOMU 8 News at 6 starts now.
School closings, slick roads, and really cold temperatures. That's our big story. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Reek.
And I'm Emily Spain. We have team coverage from Tim out on the roads to Kenton with our look ahead. And we'll start first with KOMU 8 News' Justin Kolar, who's live with a look at roads today, where troopers have responded to more than 20 weather-related crashes today.
I just got off the phone with the Missouri State Highway Patrol, and they're reporting 27 weather-related accidents so far today alone, with 4 injuries. Now, this number does not account for the dozens more slide-offs that troopers don't necessarily report on. Now, road conditions are improving as crews have time to get to them, but as you can see on these side roads here, they're still covered with snow, and that situation may not get better until later this week. Slide-offs galore today. Major roadways, including I-70 and Highway 63, are clear of snow. However, the smaller road arteries remain covered. Barry Dalton of Columbia Public Works says patience may be key to overcoming this latest winter storm.
With temperatures being so low, most streets in Columbia will stay snow-packed until temperatures start to rise.
MoDOT and other road crews will continue clearing the roads, but like I mentioned before, these snowy conditions will likely remain and be very icy. As I said, they'll be icy until later this week when temperatures will rise well above freezing. Now let's send it over to weathercaster Tim Schmidt for the latest on the road conditions as he's driving along in the storm tracker. Tim?
Thanks, Justin. We're actually out on Nightfong Boulevard on southwest side of Columbia, and the main roads are fine. And again, it's the side streets and it's your subdivisions that haven't maybe gotten plowed yet or haven't gotten that ice melt treatment. You can see though most roads or most of the now and probably will be okay for the rest of the week. It's that snow-packed road that could potentially get icy tonight. That's maybe the issues you see kind of on the shoulder here on the roads where all the snow has been melted from earlier today with the sun. Well, now obviously going to freeze back up. More than likely, we will have a lot of black ice on those roads. Kenton has a look at some very cold temperatures for tonight, too. We'll send it over to you.
All right, Tim, thank you very much. Be careful out there. If we look at our satellite and radar, you can see the cloud cover out there today. We did see some sun, which again helped to melt some of that snow out there, which is good and bad because now we have to, again, deal with it freezing again overnight, some black ice out there. All the snow we saw earlier, though, is pushed off to our south at this point, and now we're just left with those cold temperatures. By the way, temperatures were actually cooling throughout the day today. We were in the lower 30s here around sunrise, cooling into the teens this afternoon. Now we're around 9 in Columbia, 11 in Jefferson City, 10 over in Mexico. Wind chills sub-zero for most of us. It's already feeling like a -10 over in Moberly at this hour. And if we look at our winds, they're still 9 miles an hour from the northwest. They're going to gust up to 25 miles an hour here this evening. And because of those winds, we're feeling between -15 and -20 tomorrow morning heading out the door. That's why we have this wind chill advisory in effect throughout mid-Missouri in these conditions. With this cold of temperatures, we start talking about frostbite and hypothermia. So we're going to track those temperatures through the rest of this week and look ahead to the next 8 days coming up later.
We have some school closings for tomorrow, including Columbia, Centralia, Camdenton, and Rolla. We have a list on our website, KOMU.com, as well as scrolling there on the bottom of your screen. A crash on I-70 in St. Charles County killed 1 person and injured 7 others this morning. The Missouri State Highway Patrol says a vehicle traveling westbound crossed into the eastbound lanes. The crash shut down all eastbound lanes for more than 3 hours. No other details were provided. Police are investigating the death of a Sedalia woman. Sedalia police say 33-year-old Heather McClellan died after she was assaulted with a weapon last night. Now, police won't say what the weapon was, but it was not a gun. All we know right now is that emergency crews responded to a report of an assault at an apartment on East 7th Street. McClellan was taken to a hospital where she died.
Columbia police arrested a man after he forced a family to help him rob Best Buy. Police say 28-year-old Eric Colbert, a Fulton man, walked into the store last night to steal things. According to police, he held an employee at gunpoint before forcing a female shopper and her 2 kids to carry stolen items outside. He took off but was arrested at the Midway Budget Inn. About 30 minutes later, he's facing 5 charges, including kidnapping, first-degree robbery, and assault. Columbia police arrested 2 people after a robbery in the parking lot of the Hy-Vee on Nifong Boulevard. It happened late last night. A man told police he got in a car with a woman and there was a man inside with a gun. Police say Robert Crowley and Lisa Perryman drove off with the man's things. Officers stopped the pair's SUV near the Hollywood Theater on Stadium Boulevard. Police say Crowley ran but was later caught. Both face robbery charges.
Governor Eric Greitens has called off a statewide tour, at least for now. The governor has been lying low since allegations surfaced that he had an affair and then blackmailed his former mistress. The tour was set to promote Greitens' tax cut plan with 6 stops, including Kansas City, St. Louis, and Springfield. His spokesman says the tour is being rescheduled. Millions of Americans celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. today, but hundreds of members in our own community celebrated right here in our backyard. KOMU8's Chelsea Haynes is in the studio to tell us how they honored Dr. King today. Chelsea.
A dream deferred is a dream reignited. This was the theme for today's 24th annual commemorative celebration of Dr. King by Columbia's local chapter of the NAACP. Check it out.
We are free at last.
In the back. It began at the MLK Memorial off of Stadium Boulevard. Then a motorcade traveled to the Second Baptist Church for a presentation with community leaders. They say we must continue the dream of Dr. King as a unified nation, even in a broken world.
Sometimes we always look at the negative of how to divide people versus our ancestors tried hard to look to unite, look to become part of something, to become a part of the constitutional dream of having life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, or be able to have property, have access to certain things.
And even though Columbia's NAACP president believes Dr. King's dream has been deferred, she's challenging each and every single member of our community to begin to reignite a dream of the past. The event brought out more than 100 members of our community of all races and ethnic backgrounds to remember Dr. King.
Jefferson City hosted its 14th annual King commemorative service. KOMU8's Kyrion Lee is here in the studio to tell us how this was much more than a day off.
People of all backgrounds filled the seats in a room of SSM Health St. Mary's Hospital to come together to celebrate Dr. King. The theme, Unity and Diversity, was created to remember his vision. This was one of many celebrations throughout the city. The guest speaker was Superintendent of the Missouri State Highway Patrol, Colonel Sandra Karsten. Colonel Karsten says the silence must end.
We have to know each other, and we have to engage with our communities and make sure that we have a relationship with everyone, regardless of their background, regardless of their race.
Colonel Karsten said people must unite in order to make a difference. In the studio, Kyrion Lee, KOMU8 News.
Coming up after the break, thousands are helping a Missouri teenager search for her missing dog.
A family photo shoot gone horribly wrong. The hilarious photos will have you asking why.